Alright guys, and welcome back for week 2 of Transformers Month, and this week I'm going to be taking a look at the Autobots' head of communications, Blaster, the DJ with the most. So Blaster, first off, is the head of Autobots' communications and transmissions, and he transforms into what you might think. He transforms into a cassette stereo boombox. Now this has a lot of helpful attributes to it, as to where he can also transform and not being noticed, being so small in size. He's able to record and intercept transmissions very easily, and this helped out a lot during the battle for Autobot City in the 1984 Transformers movie. Now notably, just like his evil counterpart Soundwave, Blaster is not without his own little mini army of cassette minions. Let's take a look at a few of them now. Now, unlike Soundwave, Blaster only has 6 cassettes that he can hold inside of his chest cavity, so he's a little more limited than his evil counterpart. Now, the first two that we're going to take a look at is going to be Eject and Rewind. Eject is kind of the brute enforcer, almost kind of like the Frenzy to Soundwave's counterpart and Rumble, and he's just the little enforcer cassette robot, so he's not really too good at gathering information, and he thinks he's a lot bigger than he actually is, and really likes sports for some reason. He really took to human-based sports on TV. Next we have Rewind, the other humanoid-type cassette robot, and he just gathers a lot of mismanaged information. He likes to research everything on history and science, and while he's very knowledgeable in all these areas, it just kind of all adds up to a bunch of nonsense that nobody's able to use. Next we have a counterpart to Ravage, and this is Steeljaw. Steeljaw is very much like Ravage in every other way, except he himself even says that he's a much better hunter than that dirty spy. He likes to sneak up on people and give them the scare of their life, and much like his name implies, his Steeljaw, once you're in its grip, he can rip a Decepticon to shreds. Next we have Ramhorn, who again is one of the brute enforcers in Blaster's little mini cassette army. He doesn't like to think things through. If he says, if I can't blast it, I'll just run right through it, and he tries that attempt very much, and it seems to work for him for his small size. Now we have 2 more unique cassette Autobots here that Blaster has, just like Soundwave, and they are Grand Slam, who is a tank that has 2 rocket launchers and a missile launcher on his back, and Rain Dance, a F-15 Thunderbird that is able to shoot down napalm upon his enemies, so he makes it rain on his foes. And when these two are combined together, they form a combiner much like Squawk Box. They form Slam Dance. And Slam Dance is about the same size as Squawk Box and is pretty powerful for a little cassette combiner robot. Now, of course, Blaster has faced off with his counterpart Soundwave many times in battle. First in the G1 Transformers continuity, where they fought in a nightclub, and they fought using music, where Blaster was able to defeat Soundwave by taking speakers and modifying them to himself to send out high-pitched frequency sound waves, and ironically enough, incapacitate Soundwave. Later on, they would have one final fight in the Headmasters continuity, and that's where Soundwave and Blaster would fight in the Arctic Circle, where Blaster would technically strike the final blow on Soundwave, severing his arm, and Soundwave would punch through Blaster's chest with his other remaining arm, but both of them would die in the fight and come back later on in the Beast Wars and other continuities in the Transformers series. Alright guys, so let's take a look at Blaster and some of the cassettes that I have for him. Now, I don't have nearly as many as I do for Soundwave because they're much rarer to find for Blaster. So first you can see he's a really cool looking red and gray boombox with the speakers and all of the rewind, play, and fast forward buttons on the front, and the great yellow cassette door. Has the handle, you can almost imagine putting it on your shoulder and blasting around with some tunes. And it's just a very solid looking toy. Almost looks like you could play real music, and he's really, really large. This is one of the larger Transformers in the whole series, aside from like Trypticon and Scorponok and things like that. So in order to transform him into his robot, we're just going to fold the handles down, bring his legs out, and the feet at the bottom. And then we'll set him up here, and as you can see, he really towers over most Transformers. You flip his arms out and then down. Tend to stick a little bit here. Just need a good tug. There we go. And this is my original blaster that I've had since I was a kid, so he's seen many years of use. And there we go, flip his head out and his arms down. Unfortunately, I don't have his gun either, but he looks really cool in his robot form. And just for being a regular-sized Transformer, he's really huge. You can see one of his antennae broken off over the years, and his cassette door doesn't open like it once did. So you can still pop it open, you just have to pop it open manually, because this little button down here doesn't open it anymore. And inside he has ram horn inside of his cassette door. There we go. You can get a look at one of his cassettes here. We'll take a more in-depth look at him in a minute. Pop his weapon on there, put Blaster into place, looking over his little cassette minions there. Alright, and this is one of my favorites out of the group. I love just the colors and the weapons, and this is Steeljaw. With his guns, you notice right off the bat, they just look like wings. It's so different looking than most Transformers, and he has a very bright yellow coloring. So we'll take his guns off, and they're solar pellet cannons, I believe. And you can see he has kind of like this weird, like pastel type of camouflage, like yellow camouflage going on. And we'll transform him from his cassette mode into his little lion mode. Flip the legs out, and you have to pull the hindquarters out, flip the tail down, and then we gotta flip his head out here, which shifts and kind of gets stuck there. Alright, there we go. And it kind of looks like little Simba. And we'll put his guns on the side there, and you can see what I mean. When you put the guns on Steeljaw, it looks like he has wings or something, like he could fly. But those are actually where he keeps all of his ammunition and stuff at. But he's just really, really cool looking, and stands really nice, and it's a really cool looking little Transformer. One of my favorites. Actually, get a better look at him here, a little zoomed in look, and you can see his eyes, that stern look in the face, the tail with the feet, and the guns, and everything just goes together really well. He's a really well designed little Transformer, and always one of my favorites. The head moves independently back and forth, and you can move the tail in different positions. So really a lot of detail went into him. Very cool, and definitely an underrated little favorite. Most of the Blaster's cassettes are very unknown. Most people have no idea who they are or what their names are. And again, like I said, this is Ramhorn. He has a missile launcher on the side there, and I've lost the other one over the years. And he has kind of like a burgundy, reddish brown color. And he is a Rhino, obviously, if I didn't mention that before. So we'll take his gun off of here, and then we'll transform him from his cassette self in a minute. And you can see the nice metallic sticker there. I always love how cool these things look in their little cassette modes. And he transforms very much like Steeljaw, where you bring out his rear legs here. And then you bring the front legs out. Now the main difference with Ramhorn, there we go, flip his tail out, is he's very stout. His legs are very small. But man, look at that head. Look how cool that looks. Put his gun on here, and this goes on his left side. And there he is, all transformed. But look at how cool he looks with that nice big horn on the front. And I love the gold eyes. He just really looks like he's all business. You know, Ramhorn's definitely not fooling around. It's like, you have two choices: get out of my way or get moved out of my way. And that's a really nice pointy horn that they have on him, and he's just really cool. I think he's a really cool little character. So we'll put him there next to Steeljaw and Blaster. Alright, and last but not least, this is Rewind. Sometimes I even get them confused. They look so much alike, I can never remember if he's Eject or Rewind. But you can see on the front here, he's blue and red and gray with the stickers, and he has these really cool cannons on the front, and the blue and gray on the back. Unfortunately, they've lost a lot of their chrome over the years. He's a more recent addition that I just added to my collection in the past few years. So we'll take the guns off and get a better look at the front of the cassette. And again, looks really cool. They really did a good job with both Soundwave and Blaster, making the cassettes look like real cassettes of the time period for the 80s. So I think that's why I appreciate them a lot too. Alright, now let's transform him. You'll notice immediately as you pop the arms off to the side that his head springs up. That's what holds the head in place. Move the arms out and the legs down. And flip the little feet out down at the bottom here and turn them around. I can never remember which side they're supposed to go on. There we go. And he kind of looks like a little football player too, even though this is supposed to be the nerdy guy, Rewind. But he's kind of built like very stoutly. And then you flip the little hands out there. I think it's neat they gave him little hands. They didn't have to do that. There we go. Pull the arms down. He's got a lot of little transformation points for such a small little toy. And the cool thing about him that I like is, unlike Rumble or Frenzy or anything, he can actually hold his gun, so it really looks like he's holding his weapons. There we go. And you can even turn it around to the side. We'll get a look at him here, but you can turn his weapons around to the side, and he can actually really point them in the direction that he wants to. So he looks like he's really using them a lot more than a lot of the other toys. And it's just a really cool little minifigure. He's like just a really teeny tiny little robot, but you know, supposed to be a full-size robot. So he's really neat. I love all those little tiny cassettes a lot. Alright guys, well thanks for taking a look at Blaster with me today. Hope you enjoyed checking out this really cool jammin' Autobot and all of his little mini cassette friends. And make sure to tune back in next week for another installment of Transformers Month. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do the Facebook and Twitter thing, follow me at #KingaRetro. See you next time.